HR traditionally is involved in building organisational capability. How can it help companies actually become a disruptor themselves?
In a world of disruption, my belief is that the world is moving so fast and disruption is so huge. And by the way, that's not just technology, it's demographics, it's politics, etc. Look, we need to become disruptors. Because I think the companies that will fail are the companies that try and react to disruption rather than moving ahead. And therefore, I think HR's role is to create capability in organisations to become the disruptors in their industry. And I think there are lots of things. One is risk-taking. I think HR has a major role as the cultural gardeners to create a culture in which risk-taking isn't punished, but we work out what good risk-taking is. And that's not just let's take massive risks and bet the business on it, but let's take small experiments and let's learn from them, move and learn. I think a second issue is collaboration. Most good disruption doesn't come from the lone genius. It comes from groups of people, usually from very, very different backgrounds. So again, if HR just sits within HR rather than engaging with the rest of the business and the external environment. I think a third thing is agility, which isn't just structure. I think it's a way of thinking around putting the customers first, about being willing to experiment, etc., doing things at speed. And the fourth thing is hyper-awareness, which is most disruption isn't happening at corporate head office. It's happening out there in the business on the periphery. So your corporate people, your senior people aren't seeing it. It's your frontline staff. So my daughter worked for a while, she was in the fashion industry. She worked in a summer job when she was at uni at Zara. And it fascinated me. They were trained to question customers, not on what size do you want, but what do you like, what do you don't you like? What are some of the trends you see coming? What are you going to be buying in the future? Every evening when they shut the store, they would debrief all the people in the store and then they would send a report overnight to La Coruña in northern Spain. The next morning, they're sitting down together, analysing, and the key thing is together. And when you see the video of their offices, they're all open plan. Because you've got the people who are driving the designs here, then the manufacturing, etc. And they can get from, I think their phrase is design to shelf in 3 weeks. And that is hyper-awareness because it's based on, not like some of the old-fashioned businesses where they kind of like to predict a year in advance and work out people like Stripes or Green or whatever. But every single day they're changing what they're selling.
In this series, we will be speaking to a range of senior leaders who are pushing a data-driven and digital HR agenda. Make sure that you subscribe via your podcast app of choice and also via our YouTube channel for free and regular interviews with the digital HR leaders of the future.